Hello, and welcome to episode 68 of the DaebakCast.
Not 69.
This is a weekly podcast where the three of us come together. Or wait, this week four of us come together to talk about K-pop and whatever's current in the industry. This week we've got three topics and an album review. Album review being VIXX. And then we are going to talk about, what was the second again? Choreography. And then is anime third?
No.
No, then unpopular K-pop opinions.
Oh, unpopular K-pop opinions and then anime. Anime and K-pop. All right.
Nailed
you guys
it.
can look forward to that. Okay. As always, I'm joined by Nate.
I got you. You got me. Love you till kingdom come.
We're a happy family.
I'm
seeing Red Velvet in 4 days or whatever, so
Hey,
I gotta
you
give
stole
them
my-
a shout out.
You stole my thing, dude. What the
I
hell?
saw one of your things one of your things was about me.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay. And also, as always, I'm joined by Andrew, who usually has three things.
Well, I'll call it 3.5. Number 1, Patrick Chapin, Luis Scott Vargas,
No,
Yuya Watanabe.
I don't know who that
What do
is.
all three things have in common?
they're Magic the Gathering pros.
If Nate
I don't
plays
know why
anything
he's
like if Nate plays
listing
anything
them
like
off.
those guys, he's not going to be able to see Red Velvet on Sunday. So
That's true.
yeah, good luck, Nate. I know
Yeah.
you'll need it.
Hopefully, I do bad at this Magic tournament so I can go see Red Velvet. Is how
And
this weekend is gonna go.
And don't put your lands in
see
front of your cards. Apparently,
Yeah,
'cause
we're not
that's
allowed to
banned
do that anymore. I never did that anyway, though.
Number 2, June will be the week of hell, or like the third week of June will be the week of hell, because surrounding KCON, it's literally gonna be like I have 6 concerts in 8 days.
I wish I had that
List
problem.
them off.
yeah, it's like first world problems. But that Monday I'm gonna be going to Kyori Pami Pami. That Thursday I'm gonna be going to Eric Nam. Friday or Saturday Sunday is KCON. Monday is Uptension. Then Tuesday is Paramore. So like literally I'm going to, I might like die at the end.
The
of
best hell ever.
it. Yeah,
No,
basically.
next week is Hell Week. I have finals.
You have finals.
Same.
Oh, God.
College kids.
Okay.
And number 3 is like my non K-pop recommendation of the week would actually go to J. Cole's new album KOD. All seriousness though, it's actually a really good album, and it sort of like talks about like, oh my God, what's going on in my door? Jesus Christ. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Nope.
Like I said, it's garbage. This is a garbage truck on fire. Anyway, so yeah, with J. Cole's album, like it actually talks about like really serious stuff, like mental health, depression, and like medication and all that sort of stuff. So it's actually a really good album to check out. And also, he had the balls to drop an anti-drug album on 420. So, and just the last sort of like half thing. I'm moving. Yeah. So yeah, like literally the room that like I basically graduated college in, and the room that we started this podcast in, and like the house I've been in for the past couple of years. Yeah, I'm gonna be moving like a couple like blocks or like 5 minutes down, still in the same town. But yeah, it's gonna be sad. This is where we started truly Daebak, and it's gonna
I'm
be all
already
gone.
out of the room.
I'm
We started truly Daebak.
Yeah, I was like,
I've gone
I'm
through like
still
3
in
rooms.
one,
Yeah, since
that's
you
because you're in a dorm though.
yeah, you're in a dorm.
And
And
my
you
house.
go home for the summer and come back, so yeah. It's all
So you're in like 5 different rooms, but yeah, this has been my room. So yeah, it'll be clean once I actually decide to start packing for once. So yeah, 3 things and a half.
All right. And not as always, but today we have Umu from ReacttotheK.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, guys. I'm very excited.
Thanks for coming, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. As always, I guess we can get right into
You didn't introduce yourself.
Wait,
like
who are
you
you?
said.
As always, I don't introduce myself. I'm Jacob. You can see right here or here. I still don't know which place. All right, Nate. Let's go on to the review.
Yeah.
VIXX.
So before we get started, if you
VIXX
somehow don't know who Umu is, she does a channel. You want to talk about your channel a little bit?
Sure. So I run a channel called ReacttotheK, and we are most known for our Classical Musicians React series, where I film around 14 of Eastman's music majors, analyzing and reacting to K-pop. And our end goal is just to educate you guys or entertain you guys in some way about Korean pop music, and now we spread out to some Indian rock also.
Yep. So yeah, you probably know who she is if you listen to this podcast, because it's hard to
You probably know who she is. You probably don't know who we
also,
are. So.
you probably came from her mentioning us on her VIXX reaction.
Twitter or something.
After
or VIXX
you
reaction.
mentioned us in the VIXX listen, we got like 40 subs, which was like 25% of our sub
Nice.
Just something ridiculous. Like it was
Who
pretty
are you
ridiculous.
people?
Yeah. So hopefully some of you guys stay after this episode comes out. Some of you guys might leave because you hate us, but who knows?
I doubt it. You
I
guys
don't know.
are great.
If Andrew hates this album, maybe he'll make all the VIXX fans that follow you angry. So
0 out of 10, not enough water.
our normal reviews go, me and Jacob just love everything, and then Andrew's a stickler. So
Who knows? I'm gonna probably get pretty critical on this too. So
Thank you.
yeah.
I'll jump
Okay,
in.
so we have VIXX's new full album, EAU DE VIXX, which
VIXX Water.
VIXX Water.
VIXX water.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're trying to replicate, like, I don't know.
Like eau de toilette,
perfume.
toilet water.
Yeah, why is it called toilet? Has anyone ever
I don't
found out
know.
why it's called toilet water? Like, what kind of person like goes to the perfume section and is like, I totally want to smell like toilet water right now?
I don't know. There's all sorts of people in this world. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the first track is called Scientist, which is weird because everyone thinks
Oh.
it's scientist.
I
Wait,
thought it
it's
was
scientist?
scientist as well.
No, it's
No, hold on.
Scientist. Scientist, which makes
Okay.
sense with why they're doing the EAU DE VIXX thing. It's like sense and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought
I-
it was scientist the whole time.
Nope.
me
It's like
too.
scientist
Until I
on
took
all
a
of my
closer
slides
look at
right
it.
now.
Yeah, I read it and I was like, that doesn't say scientist. And then I thought it was a typo, and I was like, oh no, everywhere it says this, so this is clearly the name. So that's the title track. So this is like a typical R&B guy group song. There's some hints of tropical house in it. For me, the beat's like pretty standard, but I do like the synth a lot. Singing and rapping are great. And then for the MV, I like the sterile white like rooms with the red accents. I thought it was like artistically really good looking.
Awesome. Yeah, to add on to that, it seems like they used a lot of the similar synth sounds than they did in their past Shangri-La. I believe the genre is called future.
Future bass.
Future
that
bass,
is.
Andrew's favorite.
That's all I listen
Well,
to.
one of
but-
his favorite.
Okay, so there's that. So I believe they did a good job carrying over a similar sound that they've had in the past. However, I only recently noticed this, but the song doesn't have any chord progression at any time. So there is no real like true melodic motion. There's just this lower synth that's going like boom boom boom, and sometimes in scale degrees it goes like 7 1 1 1 1 1 or like 5 1 1 1 1 1 1, and it's just one the whole time. So I feel like that creates almost more space. It creates a spacious kind of misty feel. And I was reading the comment section of my reaction video, and since I was like, oh, it's not moving anywhere, it's like very smooth and there's no real climax, someone said it's because it's supposed to create maybe the visual of perfume just filling up a room. And so when I think about
That'd
the
be
song
interesting.
in that way, it makes a lot more sense. And I kind of like to think about that way. On top of that, I enjoy the form of the song. There's like this kind of intro piano thing going on that goes straight into the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, then rap bridge, then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, kind of, or like they add on to the chorus with the triplets, with when Leo just starts singing the da 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 da, so they kind of expand upon the chorus even more, and then it goes into the rap again, and then pre-chorus, chorus, and then chorus with triplets plus Ken singing over top. So with K-pop songs, they usually just have a copy and paste, maybe like verse, chorus, bridge, verse, chorus, and that be it. But I like how VIXX added the triplets the second and third times the chorus came back, and the first time it was Ravi's rap. And so that way they created more equal, I guess, line, what's it called? Line distribution.
Line distribution.
Line
yeah.
distribution. Yep.
Okay.
Alright, see, like I like the song for the most part because again, if you put future bass on anything, I will like it because I'm I'm easy to please like that. But when it comes to this song, like when you're mentioning like this, how they sort of like organized it, when they went to after the chorus, when they did like both the Ravi rap break and then when they did the triplet parts with the rap break, I was just like, it kind of felt too abrupt for me. It was just like wait. At least in that case, it kind of felt backwards, where it kind of seems like the rap break came and then they went to the and then they did like a bit of like sort of like of a verse and then it had like a silent part or like a sort of just like it backed out into instrumentals. I kind of wish it went like sort of like went to instrumental, maybe a verse, maybe the rap break, and then that's like, yeah, it felt kind of backwards. And like in regards to like the triplet, again, like these are like minor nitpicks because again, I love the song. It's definitely up there with Shangri-La for me. But with the triplets, I don't know, it's just kind of overplayed for me because like it's just there's just so many rap songs now that are just like everything like triplets 24/7. I'm just like I felt like it could have been a more or they could have done something maybe different as opposed to just like trying to do like triplets. But other than that, like the song is, I love it a lot. Like, and in looking into the production, I was just like, oh, no wonder why it's full bloom and freaking Andreas Oberg producing the like the song. So those are two of like some of my favorites when it comes to producers. So yeah, it was no brainer that I ended up liking this. And it didn't end up showing too much of the choreography, but from what I saw, it was good. And yeah, again, like what Nate was talking about with the sort of like weird, I guess they're like making like, I don't know, perfume scents or something, and like that's why they have like all like the sort of beakers and all this sort of stuff, and I don't know, they're blending like steak bits or something, so maybe it's like Harry Potter shit or whatever. So it's like they're making magic perfume or whatever. So yeah, but the song works for the most part for me. So yeah.
All right, so for me, I don't know. It's weird how I usually think about songs. So for me, I don't know much about music theory, but like I know a lot about like headphones and like sound space and stuff like that. So like one thing that I really liked is its use of soundstage. So it's sort of the layers feel very, I guess, like they feel very thick, but at the same time they don't feel like cramped into just like a tiny box, like only the size of my head. I feel it more like around here, and that's definitely where I like to feel my music at. A lot of the different layers I think go well together. Like the vocals sort of sit like closer to your head, and I guess with the beats sort of a little farther back, which again I guess it's just a preference, I guess, like because I like the vocals to be nice and prominent with the beat sort of like coming in and out, and I don't know, the song does that pretty well, so I like it basically. Yeah.
And then I forgot to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, what I was gonna say is a lot of times I just find myself being like, "Yeah, I like this."
I know. That's both of us do that, and I'm just like, I don't know how to describe why I like this song, but I like this song.
Not me.
But yeah, you had something.
Yeah, and I forgot to talk about what I thought of the music video. And with the whole VIXX trilogy and everything, it was always difficult to figure out what they're trying to show story-wise. Like, everyone knew their concept. It was Greek gods, but you didn't really see exactly what was happening. They mainly used, I guess, some of the Greek aesthetic for just like how they framed their videos and what props they used, and I felt like they did that the same way with Scientist. I'm not sure if any of you guys looked into the theory of this music video being based on the book Perfume.
Nope.
I've not heard of the book Perfume. I've heard of the J-pop group Perfume.
Oh! Yeah, so it's a movie and book, and I read a little summary about it, and basically it's about a guy who's has a really good sense of smell, and he's trying to create the perfect perfume, and he does that by killing people who smell good. And then eventually he creates this perfume, puts it on himself, and then goes in like the middle of a crowded area, and everyone eats him because he smells so good. So I was trying to figure out.
So that's why they had meat.
Yeah, maybe that's why, because I was trying to figure out how is this story being conveyed. There's a gun, there's a snake, there's an iguana. I'm not sure.
There's
there's a little boy.
There's like torture devices. There's like a hacksaw and like pliers and I don't know.
Well, that makes sense.
I could see how that.
It's like, is this like Hannibal the musical or something like that?
Exactly. So I think VIXX's thing is they use for their concepts more as the thing they're based on. They use props and I guess perfume as the aesthetic and just for decoration rather than more like actually acting out a story. And I just saw that reoccurring theme throughout multiple of their videos. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Hashtag deep.
Moving on to the next song, which is Odd Sense. So for this one, this is another similar like VIXX standard R&B hip hop type song. For this, I really liked the synths though. I thought the synth line was, and the instrumentals in general, really stood out to me.
My turn.
We don't. Yeah. To be honest, we honestly like we don't talk a ton about everything, but go in depth. No, we want you to go in depth. That's what you're here for. You're way more musically like informed than we are. So.
Okay, so this song, I was really confused after listening to it multiple times. I'm like, wait, let me actually try to figure out what I think sounds so weird about this song. And so I was just playing, I have this app where I'm able to like to produce different tones, and I figured out that this song is just in minor. It's not any weird mode. It only modulates once at the last chorus. And the pre-chorus, the da-dee, 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 aren't weird, unrelated notes at all. They're actually all diatonic in the scale the whole song is in. So I'm like, why does it sound so out of place and weird? And it's just, I believe, what was it? I think it went 1, 3, 2, 4, something like that. So it was just like a simple melody going up. But I think what is so weird about that pre-chorus is specifically the sound of the synth, and then also how syncopated it is with the drum line at that specific part. And that's what really makes it jump out to me. So I was like, okay, that's definitely a favorite part, even though it isn't actually complex musical. Which is very interesting.
That probably ties into like literally the title of it being Odd Sense. Literally like odd, like I'm guessing they're just trying to like imbue an odd atmosphere to the type of song.
That definitely makes sense. And again, like this song doesn't have any chord progression similar to Sentis. So I guess that does make sense that they're continuing. I mean, they didn't spell it SCENTS. That would have been cool if they spelled it
Odd sense
that way. Yeah, because they're.
I don't know. Maybe it's
this,
like the sense
concept
of smell, or like I don't know,
senses. Okay.
Maybe
yeah, I can see that. And basically, that's the next song. Yeah, that's mainly what I've got to say.
All right, so yeah, like this one, I'd say like I enjoyed it for the most part, but I still think the modulation at the end I found kind of corny. I was just like it felt kind of corny. I was just like, okay.
The song didn't need it. I was really surprised.
Yeah, it didn't need it because I mean, I guess that like the sort of atmosphere was kind of building up. It kind of felt like, why does it feel so happy when this song is supposed to feel so sexy? And I'm just like, okay, I guess we're going with that then.
Right.
But yeah, it wasn't bad.
So I actually really like the sense that the sort of like the I can't do anything like that, but anyways, I think it's really cool. It gives like sort of like a almost like robotic, like metallic sense to the song for me. And I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. It's just unlike anything I've heard, I guess. It's kind of like it gives me a similar feeling to like the first time I listened to like FX's like Red Light or like something like that. You're listening to this and you're like, I don't know if I like this yet, and then you listen to it again and you're like, all right, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's something like that. So
I'd say both FX and VIXX are very experimental in like the sounds that they're trying to go for, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Next, we have Silence, and everyone's gonna know that I love it because it's deep house, and I love deep house.
You kidding me?
And that's all I need to say is it's deep house, and deep house is great.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's my turn now.
Yeah, go for it. That's all I'm gonna say.
So originally, Odd Sense was my favorite, but after listening to Silence a lot more, I was like, oh yeah, this is my new favorite. So this is number 1 in the album for me. The melody, it's interesting. The melody at the beginning doesn't move much. It's similar to Scientist. It's organized as like, okay, here's a musical phrase, then the next member is going to sing the same exact musical phrase, then the next member is going to sing the same exact musical phrase, and it doesn't really move until Hong Bin has like a second phrase that moves down, and then N's line goes up, and it's like, okay, we gonna change now. And at the beginning, it's kind of like a tonic prolongation, but when Hong Bin goes down and then N starts singing it, like, I think it starts prolonging the dominant. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember what the song sounds like. But basically, it just changes kind of colors, and that's what surprised me, because I'm like, okay, now we're moving now. And what I love about this song is it has a ton of rhythmic variation. It just switches a lot between halftime and just being able to like, oh, yeah, go hard, nice and slow, and then it speeds up actually for the second verse or something. It has an awesome time just keeping, I don't know, my interest by switching the rhythms up. And also the song switches between having just a tonic prolongation and no chord progression, and then also having a chord progression sometimes. So I think that this song out of all of them just is the most spiciest when it comes to rhythm and changing colors tonally.
Yeah, so just like, not only is it changing just sort of like tempo or just like how it sounds, it's literally just changing like genres too. Like, let's say for the most part the verses stick with the sort of house beat, but once it kicks into the chorus, it goes back to like the future bass sort of sounds that we were hearing from Scientist. So yeah, again, future bass, I love it, obviously. And deep house, anything that sounds like freaking like, I don't know, like Disclosure or something that London Noise would put out, I'm gonna love it. So yeah, again, it's just, again, I love, again, we're going back to like how it sort of changes it. Obviously, like the deep house is sort of like really like sort of like it's kicking and all that sort of stuff, and then the future bass like really like pulls it back a bit, so you can like sort of hear that instrumental kick in. It's great use of sort of just like, again, that dynamic, the dynamic between the two sort of like tempos in that sort of way.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I'd say this is definitely one of my favorites. I think I definitely like it better than title track, and I think it probably should have been the title track, in my opinion.
I agree.
So
this needs an MV like right now.
Like, I think this one's would be really good for music video, and I think it also would be really well suited for choreography. And also the rap in this is also really,
I would say the rap in
well
it's
done. Yeah,
probably my favorite rap on the album. Yeah, if spoilers, if Shangri-La wasn't on this album, then this would be my favorite, but Shangri-La is on another album.
I still don't know why. I don't know why they put it on here. It had its own mini album, right?
It isn't a repackage.
Is it? This is a repackage?
No, this isn't a repackage. So
Okay.
why?
Yeah, why is it on here again? Yeah, that's
Shangri-La
what I
has
was.
its own B-sides.
Yeah,
is it
I was
kind of
really
like
confused.
with SNSD, like, oh, they put Genie and G on there?
and G on there. Yeah, even though those both had mini albums.
They're just like, okay, we haven't done anything in a while. Put Shangri-La on there. Maybe it'll sell. And then Scientist ended up being good. So
yeah, but yeah, if we're not counting Shangri-La, this is my favorite songs for sure.
We'll get to my favorite.
Next is My Valentine. So this is a more slow R&B song. It has a really good piano line that I like. And some ridiculous falsetto. Who does this falsetto in this? Do you know?
Do you know which part of the song?
No, I mean, yeah, I don't remember exactly. So I don't want to put you on the spot. I just wasn't sure if you had it in your. No, it's fine. Like, I just wasn't sure if it was in your notes, if you talked about it at all. So maybe you knew. But yeah, that's all I mostly had on this. Piano line, really like, but everyone knows I like piano stuff, so.
Right. Okay, for me, I am just really surprised they chose this to promote along with Scientist, because Odd Sense and Silence both outdo this a ton for me. I think maybe the reason why they're promoting this is because it is a slower jam.
Slower, yeah.
And
it's
so
always...
Scientist is slightly more upbeat, so they wanted something kind of contrasting and that they can show off a different, more ballad side, saying like, you know what, we can sing. Because I feel like with these past two comebacks, they've been trying to prove to the haters that like, hey, we can all sing. That's why we all have equal line distribution. Ravi can rap and we can dance and do everything live. So I think that might might be why they chose Valentine to promote. For the song, the chord progression, yay, it has a chord progression. The chord progression repeats throughout the whole entire thing. Same 4 chords. But what's nice is that it is syncopated. I believe it goes like da, 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 or something like that. But it stays that way throughout the entire song, never changes the rhythm. However, when it's transferring from verse to chorus or between large phrases, that's when it like they take it out for a second, or they add in like a few like da 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 diddles or something. So that's kind of cute, like highlighting the fact like we're changing into a different part of the song. Then next, what I do enjoy about this song are the textures, because in the past few songs, the sounds are really listenable, but for this one, I think the different noises and synths that they used really were nice, and I appreciated them.
All right, so don't get me wrong, I like the song isn't bad, but what really killed it for me at the beginning was it sort of had this crazy like dun 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 dun. I thought it was gonna go in.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like some hard ass like I don't know like Fast and Furious type of song, and it's just like it's an R&B ballad. And I was just like, okay. Yeah, I was just expecting a different song, and then they keep bringing it back. It's just like, why do you keep teasing me like this? I wanted it to go in, because like I guess the sort of like major or like the minor complaint I'd have about this is that I didn't get like a hard hitting like crazy trap. I don't know, like trap influence like sort of beat, which I feel like would have been a good sort of song to help mix it up. And I feel like it would have been this if they like, because it just, I guess it like those 3 or 4 notes at the beginning just kind of mislead it for me.
Yeah.
So I actually really like this song. The normally I hate trap hi hats, but I thought they were okay to be done in this song. I know. It's just like you can't escape them now. I just have to accept it. Anyways, so what I like about this song is actually like the way they sing. It's in such a way that it's almost like they're like whispering into your ear, and I don't know. I thought that was actually kind of cool. But yeah, I like the sort of like R&B influences sort of like mixed with like more electronic stuff. So cool.
Yep. Next is Circle, which is a very similar song, to be honest. I was like, okay, we go into another slower R&B song with lots of falsetto. So it was interesting to me that they decided to put these two back to back. I don't know what their reasoning was. Usually K-pop albums like kind of mix it up, different space out songs of similar genres. I feel like the next song would have fit a lot better between these two songs, because after hearing My Valentine and then listening to Circle, I was like, I'm just getting more of the same kind of like. So this one I was a little low on.
Right.
That.
Yeah, I can also agree with that, because it seems like the beginning of the album is pretty high for me, and then the ending of the album is pretty high for me, and then in the middle it's just all wishy-washy kind of. So I feel like they could have definitely organized it in a better order. So for this song, I didn't give myself many detailed notes. I said predictable melodies. So I guess what I could do to elaborate on that is that, again, I think with this one, rather than really use the most of their range, they stuck around the same notes. And if, when singing a melody, they would just go to a stepwise, going up or down, or they would resolve in a way where the listener would be like, okay, this is how the melody is going, and then they're going to go down, and then they go down. So I think that's how they're trying to be catchy with this, is just going wherever they think that the audience would predict to happen. The arpeggiating synth I did quite enjoy. I think that's the one main thing that made Valentine and Circle a little bit different, is that the arpeggiating synth is kind of like an ostinato, I guess you could say, throughout the song. It's just kind of what makes Circle. And when you think of arpeggios, since it's just repeating just the same, you could kind of think of it like as a musical circle. I don't know, maybe. And then with this one, the harmonies, there aren't many thick vocal harmonies going on. It's very, very much highlighting a single voice. Maybe once in a while another voice would come in on a third, but it would be mixed pretty far back. And so it was honestly just the time for, I don't know, I'm guessing this is for a live performance, for a concert. I feel like this whole album is just like to prove we're going to be awesome live and you're going to enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. So looking into this song, or I was just like, okay, this is actually my favorite of the, or of the not counting Shangri-La or Sentis. This is actually my favorite on the entire
even more than the deep house future bass stuff. That's crazy.
Because this is, or I don't know, because I really liked the vibe of it, because it's basically, it's trap influenced R&B, so that's kind of my thing outside of K-pop. So, and the one I was like, this sounds like a Ravi song. Lo and behold, the entire thing it's produced and written by Ravi. So like, yeah, you can definitely feel the influence. Like it sounds a lot like Alcohol or like all the other stuff that he did on his mixtape. So I get the same sort of. It's basically Ravi featuring VIXX on this on this one song.
That's true.
It's basically Ravi's doing the verses and then just like it's VIXX on the hook almost. But actually, I really like it, and I kind of wish this got promotion too. Just like, even if it's not like as a VIXX song, just call it like a Ravi single or whatever. And I enjoy it so much.
So this is another one I liked. Big surprise. One of the parts I really liked was in the beginning with sort of the like pulsing synths. So they sort of go like poof, poof. I thought that was really cool. It gave a lot of like, I guess, texture to it. But yeah. Another thing is I tend to like more like laid back hip hop songs. So it was kind of an easy win for me. And yeah, I don't know. I thought it was pretty good. So yeah.
Yep. Next we have Good Day, which is a cover of the
IU song.
Cover of the IU song.
And the girl group.
And
the whole group. No. So this is more like this is like a lot more American style pop song. It's like super funky guitar. Obviously I love the guitar line. Anytime K-pop groups throw piano or strings or guitar into songs, I love it. And yeah, I thought this was just a really upbeat, fun song. It contrasted pretty much everything else we've listened to so far. And I liked it because of that.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this song because it's mostly acoustic, and the sounds of the guitars were so nice, and the percussion didn't sound too interrupting, and even the baby synth was a nice texture on top of that. I just felt like basically with this they were trying to create that ultimate like sunny summer day, picnic day that's relaxing and just comfortable to listen to, and you know, major key, nice melodies, kind of simple, but also, you know, singable. And then I really liked how the percussion sample, it is on the typical beats 2 and 4 of the measure, but it would switch up. The sound would switch up. I think it was between verse and chorus and maybe even bridge, but I think it went from like snaps to like kind of like a snare sound. I can't quite remember, but all I remember was like, whoa, okay, it's different now. That's kind of cool. So yeah.
I think the funniest thing about this song is that it's like an album that was like incredibly experimental in sort of how like the sort of like the not just in the production or like how like the melodies were laid out and everything, like all the like where it's all experimental songs. This one that was kind of like the most safe is just very interesting and refreshing in a way, just because you've been hearing a lot of like R&B, and this is just like a sort of like poppy rock track that you've like this style of song has been in like in infected in K-pop since like I don't know, like since Move Like Jagger got popular with like Maroon 5. It's basically that sort of like upbeat sort of vibe. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, surprisingly, even though I'm usually not a stickler for safe you're
against
songs.
This stuff.
Yeah, but no, I enjoyed like. Again,
it wasn't safe for this album.
Yeah. It's so funny how basically everything on this album is topsy-turvy, where basically everything that's experimental again is just like is what's considered safe. But yeah, again, very enjoyable, very upbeat song, and it's just like it's again just provides good contrast with the rest of the album, where it's I guess trying to be like very sensual and sexy, whereas this is just like, oh, we're a K-pop group.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for me, I didn't have like a ton to say about it, but right off the bat, I definitely really like the guitar use of guitar. And one thing I noticed was this song really reminds me of "Hey Mama" by XOCBX.
Yeah, same
like,
sort of vibe.
It was very, very similar to me. So yeah, I like that, and I like this song. So
yep,
cool.
Next is Escape. So this is back to R&B, hip hop type of stuff. So this one has a guitar line though. But what I really liked about this song is the BPM is way higher than I expected. It just seems way faster than this type of song usually is. And I thought that was like interesting in a good way. It just caught me off guard and made it stand out to me.
Yeah, with this song, mainly two things stood out to me. The first, well, actually three, I guess. One is that the minor arpeggio running in the guitar was what kept this song moving, and I think what made it feel so upbeat and fast, and I really enjoyed that. And then second one is I love the background vocals, how I think... Okay, so at the beginning with the verse, there's, the main vocal line, and I think they had like little vocal chords going on, beat 1, fade, beat 2, fade, beat 3, fade, and then they would harmonize with the line. So I kind of liked how the main melodic line and the background vocals would be separate, and then they come together, separate, come together, be together, and basically how they interacted. I thought that's really fun to listen to. And then the last, or was that already three things?
If you had more,
that was two things. But I'm only seeing two notes.
Okay.
I think that's it. I'll say something if I remember it.
All right, so like the arpeggio you mentioned, like for as much or you like it, but I actually didn't like it. Not because it wasn't good or anything, but like it's the same exact like sort of like note. Like it's the same exact notes as EXO's Thunder. Like, which bothered me a lot. Like it's the same exact like progression and everything. It's like do 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 do. Like that's how EXO's Thunder goes. I was just like, whoa, wait a second. It just like it threw me off guard and like just like I was just like, okay, I can't really enjoy the rest of this song. But it's not bad. And before anyone tries to like blow me up in the comments, I'm not saying, oh my god, VIXX copied EXO or whatever. But no, it's just there's only so many chord progressions or only so many like notes you can use in music, literally. So. It happens, but yeah, it felt kind of weird for me like that.
All right, so for me, I think this is also one of my favorite songs. I liked sort of like I think okay. Let me restart. My favorite part of this was definitely the instrumentation. I really like the combination of like the guitar and the drum together. Whether that's a fake drum or a real drum, I don't really know. I can't tell, but yeah, either way, I thought it was really cool. It, paired with their vocals really well. And this is another song where I thought the rap was pretty good. So
cool. And I remember my third thing. What did you guys think about the whispered "Runaway"?
Oh, I don't mind whispering. Basically, you're basically infected. It's infected K-pop at this point. So I'm just like, okay, they're whispering. It's ASMR.
Yeah.
Right. But it just freaked me out at the end how the music faded, but Ravi's voice didn't.
Okay.
Because it just seemed like he was getting closer and closer to you. Run away, run away. And I was like, when I first listened to it, I had to pull out my earbuds because it freaked me out so much. But like, I can definitely see it becoming like a new thing in K-pop. So you're totally right about that.
Yeah, definitely. Next is Trigger. Which is more deep house.
The anime studio.
Yeah, it's a cover of the anime studio Trigger.
Were you really both going to make that joke? Is that what you were going to say, Andrew? Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Of course, because Kill la Kill.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, so this is more deep house. That's all I care about. It's more deep house. It's great. Deep house is great.
Yeah, I liked it. Kind of threw me off at first, but after listening to it more, I began to really enjoy how it builds. It builds not really dynamically, but with layers and thickness of instrumentation. So I can't remember the order of everything comes in. I think it's like, okay, was it like piano and vocals, and then it was like the bass? No, then it was percussion, and then it was the bass percussion or something, and then it just kept layering more and more synths on top of that. And I thought that was really nice and kind of tasteful to do. And then next, I expected the chorus to be a lot more hype, but that might be because I'm not very familiar with this genre, and perhaps that's a normal thing to have, but I felt like they kind of lost tempo and movement in the chorus.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit more laid back for a type of house song where usually like the entire sort of purpose of the song is to build up to the hype chorus that's sort of supposed to like get stuck in your head. It has the earworms and everything. But yeah, I'd say it's a bit more laid back in that sort of sense. But I think I still like the song enough because of like how they build up that instrumental again. It's just like really, it's really dope. Just like again, like how like good like that chorus is. So yeah, even if the vocals are kind of like lackluster, I'd say the instrumentals definitely carry the song for me.
So one of the things I have to say about this song is like there's somebody in this group that sounds like Onu from Shiny to me. It's like I think he sings at like 17 seconds in this song, and that's where I noticed it, and I was like, whoa, that sounds very similar.
It might be Hongbin, because Hongbin has a very clear, kind of almost
thick?
tight sounding voice. Yeah, thick and tight sounding. Okay, wait, this is Trigger, right? I'm just gonna.
Yep. Yeah, 17.
She'll figure it out. She's the VIXX stan.
Don't know, Gus. Don't know.
It'll be fun. You can play like 12 seconds.
Oh, it's Hyuk! Okay, Hyuk. Yeah, okay, so it's Hongbin, and then Hongbin at 10 seconds in, and Hyuk ends up singing at 17 seconds in. I can actually see that a lot. Though, when his voice is kind of by itself without instrumentals, I feel like it's slightly more grainy than Onu's. I picture Onu's voice kind of like as like a thick metal rod, and then his is like thick metal rod with like slightly velvet on the outside or something. And then another thing to point out is N and Suho's voice from EXO. They have very, very similar timbres. Sorry, that's just kind of random, but I want it wet.
Yeah, Suho's very soft spoken, which is why he does a lot of like ballads a lot. So.
Okay. But yeah, anyways, I thought this song was kind of cool. I was expecting a little more from the chorus, like Andrew said, like, cause it felt like it was building up to something really, really exciting, but didn't go it didn't really go anywhere, I guess. It kind of just stayed in sort of a similar region. But yeah, other than that, I thought it was really cool. So. Yeah,
that is kind of a thing though in
I was gonna say
electronic music where like they have anti-drops, or like
oh my god, it's like Steve Aoki. Drops. I hate his music because it goes nowhere. He builds up a mountain and then stays there. Like, stop.
It's like musical blue balls or something like that.
Okay. That is a really good description though. Yeah, in Deep House, that does happen where, like Andrew said, it's just like an anti-drop, or it throws you off by doing the complete opposite and not dropping.
I just feel like I'm robbed whenever that happens.
You're robbed. Yeah. Yep. Next we have Resemble. It's a ballad with piano and guitar.
Yeah,
so it's a ballad.
Low-key jazzy ballad.
Yep.
Yeah. So this song is where sometimes I don't enjoy music when it's predictable, but in this case the melody is so nice and the sounds are so nice that predictable is like the best thing in this song. It goes like, it builds up dissonance and then it goes exactly where you want it to go, and it's so beautiful. And it like might have the typical or generic, I guess, blues notes where like I think it had a few, was it flat 2 or flat 3s, flat 6s, and then the picardy thirds at the end of phrases. Like, it just did everything that these type of songs do, but like VIXX hasn't really ever done this song before, this style of song before. So, or have they? I can't remember. So many VIXX songs. But it was just sounded so nice, and even though it was in a minor key, it just the melody and the instrumentals kept it relaxing minor, so that it sounded more bittersweet than actual like I'm sad and bawling my eyes out.
Yeah, it's not like emo boohoo. I'm sad minor. It's more melancholic, definitely, in term for a song that's almost in minor or almost all in minor. Yeah, but I'd say the only reason why we're bored of this is because we hear the same type of ballad song every time we review an album.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why we're just like, meh. It's a ballad. Like literally, it's a ballad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's
a
good.
ballad.
It's good. It's a ballad.
There's so many K-pop ballads that it doesn't have a rap part.
That's exactly what I said about this song.
It's a ballad with a rap part.
Like, for me, like, I liked it, but I wanted more like I guess like high notes and like more like showing off, I guess, so to say, because I really, really enjoy that kind of stuff, because like my favorite ballad singers are like Taeyeon, who I have above me. You can barely see her, bottom of her. Even in American music, I really like Adele. I think she's really good. I really like you don't have to even do like belting high notes. Like I really like stuff like I don't know, even like I use like more like low key ones that are on her albums. Like it's got to be in either extreme for me, I guess. And then I really, really enjoy it. But if it kind of just stays in like sort of the middle, like sort of like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah, and even though...
It's kind of overdone, I guess.
Yeah, what's up with IU's ballads is that she, even though if she doesn't go high, like you said, she may stay in the lower range, she has a lot of dynamics and she plays a lot with tempo and just really playing with, you know, speeding up, then slowing down and extreme phrasing. And I think that's what makes her ballad shine a lot because you can really tell through her vocals that she is telling a story. She's feeling this specific emotion and it's so magical and so amazing, while this song is more the typical pop ballad that sounds good to many, but you know, it happens on every album, like you said.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we gave the both of IU's last albums 10s. So yeah.
We're IU fans for sure.
Yeah.
We gave a cover album a 10.
Nice.
A flower bookmark too.
Yeah, it's a cover album, but anyway.
Yep. I mean, it's like a remake album. They're not.
It's
covers.
a remake album. Yeah,
They're
I'll give
completely
IU more
different
credit
genres.
than that. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to Navy and Shining Gold. So this is similar to Good Day. It's more upbeat pop, like funky guitar type stuff. Which, like I said, still with Good Day, it's another refreshing sound on this album. But I liked at the beginning, it seemed like the vocals were a lot more subdued than in Good Day. It's hard to describe, but I guess subdued is really the only word I can think of that describes it. But then they build up more, and I thought that was an interesting thing to do with the song.
Right. I think this is the typical VIXX closing song, concert closing song. Cause I bought VIXX Live in Fantasia, and the song that they closed with, it's just one of those really, really, one of their happy, peppy songs that, you know, the crowd's able to sing along with and jump along. I think that's the main thing. You got to find a song that you can jump along to, and it doesn't have to have like intense choreo. So this one is super fast paced due to the really fast moving guitar and the percussion samples. The percussion actually had a lot of variety. It started off on every single beat, and then it switched to like some kind of syncopated thing, and then it went to the typical 2 and 4 and 2 and 4, and then every single beat, and like it would switch around. But like the tempo that they're going at is like the perfect like you know, jump up and down type of song. And the vocal melody is in the right range for fans to sing along with, and the melody is easy to sing along with, and it just sounds like something really fun to experience with VIXX Live. So I thought it was the perfect ending, and especially since it's called Navy and Shining Gold, and that's Starlight's or VIXX's main colors. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So yeah, this is literally a fan song then.
Yep.
In a way, yeah. So yeah, it seems like this does seem like the encore song that you come out after they change into like the tour T-shirt, and they're just like saying hi to the fans. And I've been to too many concerts, you can tell. But yeah, it is a very fun song. It's interesting that they end on a fun song. When again, most of like the sort of mood of the entire album is just again very central in a way. But yeah, it's not bad. It is very enjoyable and safe. And again, it's definitely like you can tell that like they are like aiming for this song to be like their like the album closer in a way, or like in like the tour closer, concert closer, that sort of thing.
Yep.
All right, so this song I really liked. It was super like fun and catchy, which I definitely enjoy, because not everyone like sort of goes for that concept anymore. Like what a lot of what this reminded me of was like stuff you'd hear in like 2010, 2011 as like this like some sort of like special song, like they do like a collaboration between two artists, and then they do like some fun song for some kind of event, like I don't know, like the Olympics or like the World Cup or whatever, like whatever kind of event. And like it feels like that kind of song of like, you know, trying to bring people together and whatnot. So I don't know what the actual lyrics are, but I'm sure since it's a fan song that it definitely would have that vibe. So yeah.
And last but not least, Shangri-La, which we've talked about before, but in my opinion, it is the best VIXX song that they have. It's a really cool fusion of electronic stuff and traditional Asian instruments. Amazing choreo, beautiful MV, everything about it. It's perfect. It's my favorite VIXX song.
Yeah, I actually didn't make notes for this because I'm like, I know what to say. But I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those songs that at first I couldn't take in because it was so different from all their past styles. And I was like, whoa, this is something completely new, a genre that I've never really listened to. But as I listened to it more and more, I just discovered so many new things. How, like, even after filming the reactions on my channel for Classical Musicians React, I learned many things, like how the snaps weren't lined up. They were just a series of like, and so as I began to discover new sounds and how they played with silence and how the chord progression actually changed between the verse and the chorus, I was like, you know what, this song is freaking brilliant. It builds the hype perfectly. It has lots of variation. The bridge is amazing with its syncopation and almost how it really changed the color between the rest of the song and this, because it didn't seem like it was out and something completely different. It still fit in, even though they kind of changed up the sounds and took out like 100% of the percussion. But it was just a nice break from everything else. And I think overall it's a really well molded song. And of course the music video and choreography, which I've seen live, is amazing.
So yeah, again, I'm with Nate. Easily my favorite VIXX song. Not only is it just like not only is this a future based song, but it's like the use of like vocal chopping and like pitch like everything's pitched up, vocal chopped is perfect. It's so hard to get it right, especially because I listen to a lot of future based songs and sometimes it just kind of comes off as like tacky or whatever, but it's so nice in here. I love how it's sort of the melody that they build out of the vocal chopping, it kind of ties into like the sort of like Asian mystic like instrument type of vibe that they're going for. Yeah, it's kind of like sort of like a chime vibe that they're going for. So again, like it's so well structured, and like not having listened to VIXX prior to this song, I was completely blown away when I heard it like for the first time last year. So yeah, it's easily a direction that I hope they keep going in, because it's not really a sound that's ever explored in K-pop. Like we've only like legitimately the only people that are sort of like messing around with future bass was Jonghyun, and he did She Is, VIXX this song, and then that's probably it. Like it's very few people using future basses, and then obviously Singing in the Rain by Jinsol of Luna. So yeah, and all of those are like easily my favorite, like easily some of my favorite songs. So yeah, more future bass please.
Yeah, so I really like this song. Like almost like a lot of it is because of the use of East Asian instruments. Like I really wish they'd use them more often, because they're so like rarely used that every time somebody uses them, they're so like fresh and new almost. Like one of my favorite songs from last year was Ten's Dreamin' a Dream. Like that was fantastic.
Yes,
and it barely even had any vocals, whereas like, you know, I usually prefer everything to have vocals. I don't listen to a lot of like instrumental music and stuff, but like that song I always listen to, and this song is also one that I still listen to often. So yeah.
Yep. So going to our ratings, for me, I did a 5 out of 6 for songs. I really liked pretty much everything on the album. Like I said, yeah, just with really my only gripe was them putting My Valentine and Circle right after each other. If they split that up a little bit, I think it would be perfect. 3 out of 3 for concept. I counted Shangri-La, so that's part of the reason why. But I did like the aesthetics in Sentis music video as well. And like Andrew said when we talked about the song, they didn't show much of the choreo, but I liked what I saw. And I haven't checked out a live version yet. And then I give them a bias point because I've liked VIXX for a while. So I give it a 9 out of 10 overall.
All right. So for the album, I overall was kind of like, okay, I've heard all of these type of songs before, so I'm giving it a 2 out of 6 for album.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I get pretty I get really critical when I really like a group, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So you were like 10 out of 10 for me before, and now you've just dropped a 10. I get critical towards my babies. So I'm like super critical towards Mamamoo too.
I'm like that too, and these guys are like, whenever I give twice, like,
I love everything.
Like, yeah, Twice puts out a new album,
six,
perfect.
they're like, yo, what the hell is wrong with you?
Twice with yeah, just anytime I get new music from groups that I like, I'm just like, perfect. That's all I care about. I just want music. I don't care.
It could be
complete garbage. No, okay, it can't be complete garbage. There's been some stuff that we were like Jessica's new album. We're like, okay, it's the third album. It sounds exactly like the first two. Like, do something different. But for the most part, we're fine just getting more of what we like.
Yeah, so I was critical there. I'm, of course, giving 3 out of 3 for concept, choreo, and styling. I always am in love with VIXX's choreography. I also haven't seen the live version for this, but what I've seen so far in the music video, just mind blown. I feel like the story is being told a lot more through the choreography than anything else. And then for the concept and like how the music video was shot, I loved how a lot of times they would just have a person really small in the frame and it would focus a lot in the space in the room and like all the other, I guess, visual effects that they had going on. And then of course 1 out of 1 for Bias because they are mostly my number one
crazy.
group. Akmu sometimes beats. Yeah. Really? You had no idea, huh? And so overall 6 out of 10.
Wow. I thought I was going to be the stingy one. Oh my god. Okay. So again, as much as I liked it, I'd say my only sort of complaint, or the only thing I'd say that they should probably improve on, again, is adding maybe a bit more variety, because I do feel like, again, a lot of the R&B songs sound a bit the same, so I guess, like, I'd say introduce more flavors, or more, like, sense, if that makes any sense. Like, just sort of change it up a bit in a way, just so it's not sort of repetitive, so for that, I ended up giving it a 4 out of 6. I'd say, like, it's a top-heavy album, which I mean, like, the singles are incredible. Really, like, the highs are really high, but the lows are sort of, like, definitely, like, very middling. So that's why I was going back and forth between giving this a 4 or a 5. Concept, I only gave it a 2 out of 3. For as much as I love the video and, like, the sort of, like, atmosphere they built, I'd say it didn't break enough ground necessarily to give, like, that 3 out of 3. So it was, like, right borderline, though. And obviously I'm giving it a 1 out of 1 because I love future bass, and basically that means I love VIXX now. So yeah, that'd be a 7.
All right, so for me, I gave it a 4 out of 6 for music, just because. So I liked every song, but a lot of them didn't really flow into each other very well. A lot of them, like for example, like we talked about My Valentine and Circle for a long time, how they kind of felt like they almost could be the same song, like, I guess, when they flow through. So it could be down to ordering rather than just variety, but a lot of songs weren't as memorable as some. Like, I really liked Sentis and Silence and Good Day and, like, obviously Shangri-La, but like other ones I couldn't really tell you what they sound like if you asked me to, like, just sing it for you. So yeah, so 4 out of 6 for music. I liked everything, but yeah. Then I gave 3 out of 3 for concept. I thought the music video was really cool. I thought the dance was cool, and the album cover, I usually rate that as well, just because I'm a digital arts student, so I care about that stuff. I thought that was really cool, with sort of the I don't even know what that's called. I guess it's like smudging of sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a blur.
Yeah,
they just went on
I'm bad with words. You guys know this.
Yeah, Gaussian blur on, like, freaking Photoshop, and then just went to town.
Yeah, either way, like, it's simple, but it works really well, and I think it's it's pretty cool looking. Either way, and then obviously I'll give it a 1 out of 1 because I've liked everything I've seen from VIXX. Like, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I've liked everything I've seen so far. So. Yeah. Yep. I gave it an 8 out of 10, 8. I think.
Yep. So 6, 7, 8, 9, which is a 7.5. So rounded to 8.
It still gets the seal of approval, but it doesn't get a shiny.
Well, yeah, no shiny. So yeah, if an album gets a 9 or a 10 on our thumbnail, we put a giant shiny Truly Daebak logo.
Oh. Yeah. It's a Truly Daebak album.
It's the Truly Daebak album. Yeah.
That's cool.
Basically, yeah. If you didn't know what Daebak means, it's basically like awesome in Korean. Or like,
Daebak.
So,
Daebak. Yeah. I've heard on K-drama, so.
Yep.
It's a Korean equivalent to Sugoi, or like awesome or whatever.
Yep.
So yep, 8 out of 10 overall, and that is our VIXX review featuring
All right.
Sumu.
just like literally like an hour ago, they announced that both Stray Kids and NCT 127 are coming to
Boo,
KCON.
NCT, boo. And don't get me wrong, I love NCT, but we saw them last year.
Yeah, we saw them
new
last year.
artists.
It's a weird choice as to why only 127 is going, because I mean,